Can I taste your juice?
Folks, I have never seen so many ProVape parts in my entire life, and I don't believe any of you have either. There's ProVape everything all over the place around here. So you have a lot of redundant stations here for like when production needs to be picked up or ramped up. Okay.
Exactly. Overflow or if some hardware goes down, we're not completely down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can we? I just want to just show all these pieces and parts. This is candy for a lot of people out there, and just rows and rows of it.
It's like a grocery store.
It really is.
The white one.
Yeah. Okay, so here we are in production number 2, okay? And obviously we are ramping up this area.
Well, we've got a lot of new products in development, and when those go live, this is going to be overflow production. So when production 1 needs additional help, then we'll have more people in here to help out with those.
All right, so here we are at final inspection. This is it. That's the guy right there, right? No pressure on you at all. And I'm happy because when I actually got the first ProVape to review, there was no look. There he is, right there. There he is. There was no such thing as packaging. They have packaging now. It's about time, right? Look at this, boxes that actually say ProVape on them. See, I got mine in bubble wrap. I didn't get mine in a box. That's nice now. All right. So, tell me about what you. First of all, who are you?
I am Aaron Akers.
Hi, Aaron.
I am protector of the brand ProVape, basically.
Oh, I like that. Did you even know he was going to say that?
No, I didn't.
That's how I think of myself. I do quality control, but pretty much anything that I feel can improve our brand, that's what I do.
So you're the last person in everything that we saw, all of those checks and rechecks and everything. You're the last person who's actually going to put it in the box and say, okay, this is up to ProVape specs, up to our standards, and I'm going to let this ship now at this point. Right. Okay. And so what do? You just basically look at every piece. You take
look at every single piece, top to bottom. Make sure functionally it's perfect. That's not what we want. That's not perfect. That's not butter.
Oh, okay.
So we're just going to be running that back and make it perfect.
Okay. Now you actually going to go back there and yell at somebody?
Oh yes, of course.
Okay. I think you should.
You can come in with me if you want.
Yeah, really?
Done? Yes, sure. Come
on. This is cool. I didn't expect to get this look. Look, here we go. Let's see if the whip comes out. If there's any cursing. Let's see how this goes down. Who's going to get the bad news? Okay.
Oh, Randy.
Oh no.
Trouble.
Oh, Randy.
It's not Randy.
Okay. Uh-oh. Here we go. Let's see how this is handled here.
A little rough.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have a pink slip for him or anything like that, right? Okay. He gets to keep his job?
Well, Aaron, it's up to Aaron.
Aaron, what do you think? Do we keep him on
keep
staff?
him around for another week.
Okay. Okay. But I mean, the stuff can get through, right? I mean, it could get through. So you're the last line of defense.
Exactly.
Really. Okay.
And it's just we take a lot of pride here in what we put out to the public. So.
Okay. So what's your story? I mean, how did you come to ProVape?
Well, I came from aerospace, and I did a little quality control on aerospace, but mostly production.
Right.
That's basically where I cut my teeth and just learned, how things have to be presented, to the American public. They're paying a premium because things are made here in America, and they deserve to get the most perfect product that they can. And came from aerospace, which is very stringent, of course. But yeah, I was taking care of my grandfather for a couple of years with my wife, and then found a job here with Dave and the guys, and they just took me in. I started checking tubes for Dave. He was the one that used to check the tubes, and then I kind of stepped in and started doing that. And I was just so picky that they let me keep doing it. So kind of lucked out.
So pickiness, really. I mean,
I'm very picky.
Good.
My wife always says, "Man, if they only knew." How bad it really gets. I'm pretty picky about stuff.
How's the company to work for?
It's beautiful. It's around. I mean, you met the guy. You know the owners here, how they treat us.
Yeah.
Respect, and tell you the truth, have pretty strong feelings for the guys. So.
You guys want a hug or anything?
No,
You guys wanna
that's
hug
all right.
Thank
He knows. They know how I feel about them.
All right.
They take care of me. I take care of them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good meeting you.
You as well.
All right.
Thank you, Phil.
Keep up on that line over there.
Thanks.
Don't let this guy put any more nonsense through, okay? You gotta watch this guy. Keep an eye on that guy right there, everybody, okay? Poor guy. So here we are. This is like the final step. This is all the product. This is before it goes to shipping, right? And there's a lot of it. There's a lot of product. These are all the different finishes, all the different sizes, all the different colors, everything. This is all of it right here. And you can see it all. We're gonna just walk through here. Look at it all. This is ProVape heaven back here. Look at this. So there you go. Final inspection before shipping. There is a new ProVape that is coming out, and this is going to be for dealers only. Okay, so you don't get this one through ProVape, right? This one has to be
Right, go to your local dealer.
okay. And this is the Dragon, and I already put my fingerprints on one before, but I'm going to do it again here. Now, what inspired this design, Dave?
We wanted to do something different with the design than the traditional design with the teardrops. So
Okay.
we found a cool dragon design, and we engraved that onto the tube. That's all done by a CNC Swiss mill.
Okay, so there it is, and this is called the Dragon Edition. Is that what it's
Yes,
called? Okay,
yes.
and this is going to be available through your resellers.
Yep.
Okay.
So if you go to our website and click on the store locator, we've got
Okay.
a list of our resellers. They're going to have this.
Okay, so this is going to be a limited piece.
We're going to make more. We already sold out in the first run.
Okay.
But as long as the dealers are interested and they want it, we'll keep making them.
Okay. So there you go, the Dragon Edition. I'm sure there will be many more of those to come. Okay, so now this is the shipping area.
Yes, it's walled off by boxes, so we're
Yeah.
going to sneak around. We should sneak up on them.
You want to sneak up
Yeah,
on
we
them?
should definitely sneak up on them.
Okay. So here's all your packaging materials. And you know, a lot of people don't know that, I mean, ProVape.com, right,
Yes.
is not just ProVape.
Correct. We
Right?
sell all kinds of accessories. We sell e-juice. Yeah, a lot of different accessories and parts.
Okay, and this is basically storage for some of that stuff and shipping as
Yes,
well.
both-
Okay,
both
so everything
combined.
else we have seen to this point has been all ProVape.
Yes.
Right. So
Yep.
this is some of your other stuff too.
Exactly.
So you have a lot of your pieces and your parts, all of your custom caps. For those of you who don't know, like there's a custom cap. There's the compass cap, the clover cap, the cutlass cap. That's the spider cap and the skull cap. These all of the designs at this point.
Yes.
Okay. So you can get custom end caps for these. All right.
And then this is our main shipping area.
Okay. So this is where everything gets packed up and shipped out, right? Hi. How are you?
Good.
All right. Good. Good.
So yeah, they're packaging up. It's a Friday afternoon. We're closing down soon for the weekend, so things are kind of slowing down.
You mean you don't work them through the weekend?
No.
Okay.
We're closed Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
So this is the part of the, typically Friday, late in the day, things are kind of winding down. The orders have gotten shipped out for the week.
Right.
Usually by Monday it's chaos around here.
I bet.
And it's as the week goes on and we ship more packages, things kind of slow down.
Okay. So now, and this is where all your orders come in.
Yes.
Okay.
All the orders are sorted here.
And again, we talked about this before, but these are the orders for your end users. These are not your wholesalers.
Not the wholesalers, right?
Okay.
Exactly.
You have
And again, these fill up on Monday and throughout the week, and then by Friday, the goal is to have these all empty by Friday. That means
Okay.
we got our orders out for the week.
Okay. And it
So
looks like you're doing pretty
we're
good.
doing
We
pretty
don't
good.
see anything
There's
waiting.
a couple on hold, but
Okay.
but most of them are cleared out. So.
Okay.
Good job, guys.
Do you do that? You come back here and you do a little cheerleading every now and then?
Occasionally.
Okay. Here's some of your e-liquids. Now you said your e-liquids are made locally.
They're all made locally.
Okay, and by a
they're
couple-
all- Yep, we have two chemists that make all of our fluids.
Okay.
They're all made locally, and they're batch tested, child-proof caps, BPA-free bottles. Yeah, it's good. It's good quality juice.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And I did review some of this, and I thought it was pretty good. So here's their little juice area in the shipping department. Now this is wholesale, girl, right?
Yes, Kim.
Okay. Hi, Kim. Again.
Hi.
How are you?
This is real good.
Okay. So you actually get all the orders together for wholesale.
Right.
Right? And we talked about this too, so we might as well bring it up again. What does it take for a vendor, for a brick and mortar, to sell a ProVape?
They basically need to contact our customer service team, and we'll get the dealer signed up. There's a verification process.
Okay.
They need to send us their business license and their reseller certificate. After that, we'll get them set up on our system, and they can order as little or as much as they want.
So they can literally order one piece if
Sure,
they wanted to, or they
absolutely.
could order 1,000 pieces if they wanted to.
Yep.
You would prefer a 1,000-piece order, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's,
I bet you he would too, though.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, of
I mean,
course.
if you're gonna, get the boxes out and pack stuff, you
Yeah.
might as well pack a lot.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, do it up. If you're
Okay.
gonna do it, do it right.
So it's not a large investment for any brick and mortar to carry the ProVape product.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. You can buy one piece or 1,000 pieces.
Okay. And tell me, how many stores are you in?
We have 750 resellers in 67 countries currently.
Are you amazed by that?
I am, yeah. It's grown way faster than we ever thought it would.
Yeah.
And the resellers are coming in at a pretty fast pace. We probably see 30 to 40 new accounts every week.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of new resellers. And these are vapor stores that are popping up all over the country and in other countries as well.
Right. And you ship via multiple, no, I know global, but UPS.
FedEx, DHL, USPS,
Yeah.
whatever the customer wants.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Most of our standard orders are USPS. Our dealers, since they're higher value orders, will ship them by FedEx, DHL. A little better for value, for
Okay.
high value stuff.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, now pretend like he's not standing behind you right now.
Here, I'll go.
And tell me, is he a good guy to work for?
Oh, he's awesome.
Everybody says the same thing.
He's awesome.
Is he?
Oh,
He seems pretty nice.
He is just awesome.
Do you ever see him back here? Does he actually come back and visit every now and then?
He's all over the place.
Is he?
Yes.
That's terrific.
He's awesome. I
So-
mean, I've just never worked for a better guy.
Really?
Really.
Well, that's terrific. That's good. So you like your job?
I love my job.
Oh, I love to hear that. Well, keep it up. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. There he is. That's the guy. I've never seen a guy ship stuff as fast as this guy does. I don't know if he's got anything to go through, but he had his headphones on before. He was, what's his name?
This is Paul.
Hey, Paul. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Paul had his headphones on before. He was like flying through the boxes. It's unbelievable.
It must have been a good song.
Oh, Steve Ray Vaughan.
Oh, there you go, right? So basically, don't get in your way when the music is playing, because this guy ships like nobody else I've ever seen.
industry best.
He's an animal.
The best.
All right, here we go. This is
Troublemakers.
customer service. This is when you have an issue. These are the people that are going to fix the issue for you. So how are you guys?
Wonderful.
All right, excellent, wonderful. So I bet you guys get some pretty interesting emails, huh?
Oh, we do.
Do you? Talk to me about what happens here a little bit.
The goal is definitely to make the customer want to come back, be happy with us, buy more from us, tell everyone about us.
Okay. What is your error rate or your return rate?
Very little.
Very little?
Very little. Less than 1%.
Less than 1%. Okay. So what's it like to work at ProVape?
It's actually an amazing company to work for. It reminds me of how I imagine like Amazon or Microsoft in the early days, where it's a productive work environment, but really focused on making it a fun environment as well, and making sure that the employees are happy.
Kind of Google-like a little bit,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
One of those tech startup companies,
Right.
and I wasn't around for some of the more fun excursions, but I'm looking forward to future ones.
Right, and you're not saying that just because he's saying it.
No, actually,
Okay,
I
okay.
told my dad the same thing.
Okay, good. Well, it was great meeting all you guys, and hopefully this department is not a very busy one, but it's good to know we've got some good folks backing up the product here and helping out the end users and the customers. So keep it up.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Now you'll notice, folks, as we go into this next room, the amount of space dedicated to producing product, for checking product, for testing product, and then we have this tiny little space right here, and this is for fixing product, and this is it. This is all we have for fixing product, and it's nice to see that we don't have tons of people in this area right here,
That
right?
would be a problem.
Yeah. So these are the guys, and you can see they're busy at work here in the microscopes, checking out boards and devices that have come back. And this is either warranty or non-warranty
Exactly.
related
Yep.
fixes. Okay. Are you splitting cells?
No. No, I'm actually looking for bad vias and traces.
Bad?
Vias and traces.
Okay.
So I'm kind of looking for broken traces and
Okay.
or damaged components that comes back from production.
Yeah, so I actually got a chance to look at one of those microscopes before, and it's really interesting. I've never been up that close and personal with a ProVape board, but there's a lot going on at that board. Like you said, multiple layers. Can you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, there are 6-layer circuit boards, and there's about 88 components on a ProVape 2.5 that make it function.
So
Looks like a city.
Looks like a city. It does. It looks like a little city on there.
You got your towers and little houses, and looks like a city.
If they find a bad component, they'll pull that component off and put another one on, and then they'll run it through final test.
So they do actually have the potential or the ability to fix boards in
Yes.
addition to
Yeah,
like
they have
just
all
a
the-
bad switch or something like
Right,
that.
they can do that too, but yeah, they've got all the components. They can replace bad components or damaged components.
Okay.
If this were to take a fall or it went in the water and it was damaged somehow, they could fix all this.
Okay. But the potential always exists where we just need to put a new board in and get it back out to the customer.
Sometimes, yeah, we get customers that will pull their units apart and they'll wire it up and.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
Do you still have that board? Here it is. Okay, look at this. You got this back. Please tell me they didn't try to get this through warranty, did they?
They might have.
Okay. By the way, folks, those blue wires don't belong there. But that's how they got that board back.
We get customers that'll open the units and they'll tinker with it, and once they can't figure out how to get it working, then they'll send it to us. So we don't advise that you do that because you could do some damage, even further damage,
Right.
and it's just going to make it more expensive to repair later.
Okay, so people are actually trying to modify the
They're
boards
trying to
themselves.
modify the boards, and we can see their modifications under the microscope. So there's no hiding. We know what our work looks like, and we know what other people's work looks like. So
Okay.
yeah, we can find
Yeah,
them.
so don't do that right there. What are you
Seems the
working on
doctor
right here?
too.
I'm replacing one of the components here.
Replacing one of the components.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tiny.
Very fine
soldering.
work.
Yeah.
You have to do it under a microscope.
So that's what he's actually doing. He's using a microscope to do the solder work there.
Gotta have very steady hands for this. He's actually soldering the individual legs on that component. They're just microscopic.
Wow. Impressive stuff here.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Zine.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Really, really fun stuff. Really, really interesting stuff. And I don't know how many people you've allowed to come through and shoot footage like this, but I am so appreciative.
You're one of the first.
Awesome.
You're one of the first.
And I really, really hope that all the people who are watching appreciate this tour and this look behind the workings of ProVape, because I would imagine they do.
Yeah.
I certainly do. Hey, don't overcook those, okay?
I'll try not to.
They like a nice medium rare,
Yeah,
okay?
you know I burnt the last one.
So there you go. Just an amazing look at an amazing facility making some amazing product with amazing people. That's pretty much how I would sum that up. So I don't have much more to say, but we do have to finish the interview because this video is over an hour already. But I didn't want to cut a bit of that out for you guys. So let's get back to the interview. Let's talk, because I heard a word here a lot today, aerospace.
Yes.
Apparently rocket scientists do really make the ProVape. I mean, talk to me about, what is the background? I've heard aerospace so many times here.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
We have a lot of people that have come from the aerospace industry. Our chief engineer has 40 plus years of experience in aerospace, working on the ICBM missile program and the torpedo guidance systems and satellite systems. So a lot of that experience comes to us, and it goes into the design of the product. You know, the ProVape was designed, and the PV1 was designed to military spec. And it's that real world experience that we were able to bring into the design to make it a reliable device.
You know, and the reliability, I have seen so many, so much testing that goes on here today, where everybody is checking everybody else's work, and the check doesn't stop until the thing is in the box. I mean, I was so impressed by that. It's just unbelievable attention to detail and attention to quality. Just really blew me away, right down to those automated pneumatic testing rigs that you guys have. Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So, I mean, and your background again is?
So software, software engineering, test engineering, IT, some marketing. So, you know, I worked in the dot-com boom when that was happening, and we worked in technology and software for quite a while.
Okay, and your background again?
It's engineering, mostly mechanical, learned a little bit of electrical, and a whole bunch of bioengineering, so
Okay.
soft tissue biomechanics and that kind of thing. So
Okay.
a whole bunch of stuff all lumped together.
Right. And I met your father,
Yes.
who is a very, very impressive guy, right? And he's got just an unbelievable amount of
A
experience.
lot of real-world experience.
Yeah.
A lot of these engineers that are just out of school, you know, don't have the real-world experience. And what you gain from that is knowing what components to use, and you know what are good components and bad components, because you've got the experience of, well, that one failed, and especially in military, you know, with the torpedo guidance systems and a lot of the military design, you learn over the years what to do and what not to do. So we bring that to the table, and that's gone into the ProVape design.
So we touched on this a little bit, made in the USA. So, I mean, I'm sure you guys have gotten the doubters out there that, you know, don't believe that the product is truly made in the USA. And I'm sure that not all of the components, the individual things that are on the board are coming from the USA, okay? So talk to me a little bit about how much of this device, because clearly, and you will see in this video, that it is assembled in the USA by American workers, okay? But talk to me about everything else that goes into making the ProVape.
So, I mean, we source a lot of components from the U.S. Even the circuit boards are made in Illinois, so they're made in the U.S. The parts that get stamped onto the circuit board is just down the street from us. You know, that's probably that's the motherboard of the system. The whole, you know, the heart of the system is all made in the U.S. Some of the components, some of the electronic components, you can't get them anywhere other than China.
They just don't come
course.
from anywhere
You
else.
know, there's some resistors and whatnot that, you know, there's no other options. But when we have a choice, we'll look and find the U.S. or other countries. We've got components made in Germany, France.
We did this calculation once, and there's certain criteria that you must meet in order to be made in the USA, or assembled in the USA, or assembled in the USA of foreign components. And we did the math, and either you do it by, I think you can do it by weight, or you can do it by cost of component. And either way you do it, we're still made in the USA. When we went to the machine shop to have them make the actual body parts of the tube, we said source American-made stainless steel, American-made brass, because I don't want stainless steel that was made in China. I won't buy it. Same thing with the components. We went through the catalogs and found, okay, this one's made in the U.S., this one's not. Get the U.S. made one. It might be a little more expensive, but it's worth it because we want it USA made. Just in general, we've had better experience with it, so we just went as far as we could.
Very few Chinese-made products in our product. Of all the components on the circuit board, there's probably a couple that come from China. Everything else is from other places.
Okay. And I mean, that's not saying anything bad about China product.
No.
It's number one, like a philosophy,
Exactly.
or just your belief in you wanting to have as much of the product sourced here as you can.
And in order to be able to say made in USA, you need
Yeah.
to have a certain amount that's made here.
Right.
And it also supports American workers.
Yeah,
Which
there's
is-
some
that's
guy out
important.
there making this stuff, and
Yeah, that's
you know he's got a
important.
house payment too.
Right.
So you know.
Right. So what were some of the challenges in coming up with the ProVape? I mean, because the entire thing is designed by you guys. I mean, and obviously by your team of rocket scientists, right? But I mean, how long does it take to design a product like that, put it together, and get it out to market? And what are some of the challenges involved? Question?
That's a very complicated question.
Or should I just ask it a little bit easier? How much less gray hair did you have before the ProVape compared to that?
Yeah, exactly.
There's been a lot of challenges in just manufacturing and manufacturing large quantities. You know, there's been challenges with setting up proper test equipment. In the beginning, we used to manually test each circuit board by hand, and you'd sit there and push the button all night long,
Literally
and
push
go
the
through all the
hundreds of times.
Yeah, and go through all the tests processes, and by the end of the night, you'd have an indent in your finger, and your finger would be sore, and then you'd have to do it again the next day. So I guess a lot of the challenges have come from automating the process of manufacturing large quantities, and
It's the large quantities that really got us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
It's one thing to build 20 units, and in the beginning, those were all built by hand. But as we got in up towards several hundred units, the need for automation became really obvious. And then as the numbers grow higher, it's sort of like a sliding scale. Now you need support for the automation. You need people to maintain the automation in addition to the production. So, like for example, designing a new product, it's months of initial groundwork of, okay, what do we want it to do? And is there anything out there that's capable of actually doing what we want it to do? And then taking all of that, making it fit into the form factor that we have, and then taking that form factor, turning it into something that you can actually manufacture. So it's a very long, sort of drawn out and iterative process. And as you'll take, 2 steps forward and 1 step back. A lot of times you'll try something and get into a prototyping stage and then realize, oh, that's not going to work. We better back up, go over here now. So, in addition to the automation and the logistics of trying to produce large quantities, there's other issues that small companies experience. Trying to find the people who to put the thing together, the manpower, not enough hours in the day, enough floor space, equipment that's not going to tear a hole in your pocketbook. There are
a lot of challenges along the way.
It's easily the most difficult thing I've ever done in my entire life, and it's a terrific challenge that I think we all enjoy. But yeah, you're right. I didn't have this much gray hair when we started.
I think a good way to look at it is nobody really understands the blood, sweat, and tears inside the factory.
Yeah.
And then nobody understands the blood, sweat, and tears inside the tube itself.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah,
Because,
and there are a lot.
A lot of late nights of design and development, and but then the other challenge is equipment. The test equipment. You can't just go buy that off the shelf. You have to design your own test equipment
That's
to
all
test
custom.
these. So that's all custom made.
Right.
So there's a lot of challenges there too.
I'm sure everybody wants to know, everybody's clamoring, what's next? What's next for ProVape? And I've seen a little bit of what's next, and it's very impressive. As a matter of fact, here, let me prove it to you. I may be vaping on something there that not a lot of people know about. So, what is next? What can you tell us? What can't you tell us?
There is something new coming. We're getting closer and closer every day.
It's pretty close.
There's a lot of work. It's been going on for a couple of years. It's since it was started.
Yeah.
And we're in that phase where we're bug testing, and we're getting through and making sure everything's perfect. And we don't want to release something too soon and we go, crap, we missed something.
That would be.
It's so we're really taking our time, and I know there's a lot of people on Facebook that are hammering us because we're not innovating, and it's simply not true. We've been innovating for the last 2 years. They just don't know about it yet.
I do.
And you do, and they will soon.
Yeah.
So, and that doesn't speed us up at all. It's a certain process that we want to go through to make sure the product's mature enough till it's ready, and we're getting close. Getting very close.
I mean, you can't back up the success of one of the most time-tested products out there with something that's not ready for mainstream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think people would expect nothing less of you.
Right.
So
and that's not to say there won't
relax
be.
and it's coming. Right?
Well, yeah, and
Exactly.
that's not to say there won't be a little glitch here and there, or a
Of course.
bug or something. Those things happen, and but we have the ability to fix that easily, and so. But we're working on it. We're making sure that everything's smooth, and we've got a lot more than just the product development. We also have to develop the whole production line,
The infrastructure.
and the infrastructure to build it.
Yep. Right.
And so there's a lot more than just designing the product.
Yeah, when we built the ProVape, the original ProVape, we were looking at building 100 units maybe at a time. Maybe 200.
Because that's what you expected back then, right?
Now we have to roll out and immediately be capable of building thousands.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you just, okay, go, build 1,000. And that's what we're doing. And it'll work. It's just, you need to do your homework and make sure that you're going to build it right. Otherwise, you're going to get jammed up, and then your product's going to get jammed up, and you're not going to ship. And then, oh boy.
So I mean, the development phase for the next device, which I so proudly hold in my hand right now, you have board design, you have component, researching what's going to be on the board. You have software control, you have interface design, you have so many things that are involved getting that board into the tube. You have to ramp up your floor space with your manufacturing. You have to train people how to build this new thing.
That's true, yeah.
You have to design your testing equipment to test all of the boards. So, I mean, it's not something that could be done overnight. Right.
Absolutely not. At least not very well.
Okay. So now that I said that, when are we getting it? What's the estimate? How about the estimate? Do we have an estimate?
We don't have an estimate,
Okay.
and we don't want to put a date on it or give
Okay.
anyone any false expectations.
Exactly. But it's not like another year from now.
No,
It's much sooner than that.
It's
I'd
much
say.
sooner than that, but we'll just say when it's ready. When it's ready.
Yeah. Well, that's the right answer.
You've
right?
got one in your hand, so it's not that far away.
No, it's not. It's not that far.
So,
And for all the people who are going to hound me for information and email me for photos and stuff, it ain't happening.
Yeah,
until
we didn't really tell them very much, so.
Yeah. and if you hound us and you overload our ticketing system, we're also not going to give out any information.
We'll be very unhappy.
Early.
Right.
But when it happens, it'll be worth the wait.
It's pretty spiffy.
I have been to a ton of vape meets. Okay. Where's ProVape?
We're hiding.
You're like the mysterious guys behind the curtain.
I usually sort of under my desk.
We've been to a couple of shows, but to be honest, we've been working so many long hours that it's been hard to get out. Because we're on such a tight schedule, and we're trying to get new products to market, and so we really haven't been doing as many shows as we'd like to. And we're going to get out more.
We're trying to change
Yeah,
that.
we're trying to change that.
Good. I'm sure a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of fans, and I hate the word fans, but I'm sure a lot of people would like to shake your hand and thank you.
Absolutely. We'd love to meet them.
Amusing story. The first show that we did go to, we were standing in the show, and we were talking to Mike Morgan, Zen, and a woman and a camera guy came up, and she said, "Hey, it's Zen," and talked to Zen for a minute, and she looked at us, and she went, "Hello," and then just walked away. And I leaned over to Dave, and I'm like, they don't know who we are. Nobody had ever seen us before.
No, they don't. I mean, this is my first time meeting you guys, even though we've worked, and talked and emailed and everything like that.
Well, distance for one.
Well, yeah, and you happen to be on the other side of the continent.
Yeah,
That's got a little something to do.
A little something.
Zen happens to be 10 minutes away from
Yes,
you, which
yes,
is why.
he mentioned. Yeah, you mentioned. Yeah.
So, sum up the philosophy of ProVape, if you can, and let me think about how to word this, because I don't want to talk about sub-ohming, and I don't want to talk about cloud chasing. I don't want to talk about that, but that is not what you guys are about. Okay,
No.
so sum up the philosophy of ProVape if you could, and what you try to design into all of your products.
Oh, well, I have two things come to mind immediately. First thing is, we're a technology company, not a tobacco company. The second one is, and it's kind of a slogan we're working on, is if you push the button on a ProVape, you know it's safe to vape. And that's exactly it. If you push the button, it's safe. There's no running the ragged edge of disaster with this stuff. It's safe. I'm not going to build something that's going to ultimately wind up hurting somebody. It just makes no sense. So ultimately, the core of everything we do is safety. Everything else after that is secondary. That's gravy. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of our philosophy is safety. We want to produce the best device that we can and make sure it's got a lot of safety features built in, and so that's kind of pretty much the core of the ProVape and all the devices that we design.
Awesome. Well, I can't thank you guys enough for a really fantastic day for me, and I hope all the viewers really appreciate the look that you guys gave me inside of ProVape. So
Awesome.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thanks
here.
for coming
thank you
out.
for-
Absolutely.
And thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you to our customers. You know, I mean, it's really them that is pushing the success of the ProVape. So,
Yeah.
so thank you.
And this may be the longest video I have ever put out there. I'm not even sure if YouTube's going to accept it in its current length. I'm going to go ahead and render it as a single piece, but if I need to, I'll break it into to 2 parts for you. Take some pee breaks if it does go up in one piece, because it's damn near a full motion length picture. Now, I did do, okay, because I know you guys are interested in the next version of the ProVape, okay? So I did a little bit of joking around with them, did a little bit of giggling with them, and finally, I got it for you. What'd you say? You don't want to come across as what? Boring?
Boring.
I don't think you're boring.
It's kind of you. Thank you.
Right. I know.
Thanks.
Besides, your name is Phil.
That does help a lot.
So,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. I was just goofing around.
See how these Phils stick together?
Yeah. There's not a lot of us.
So, all right. So, I mean, we've been talking, we've been joking, and you guys aren't like a couple of stiffs either. I mean, you do have personalities and stuff. I mean, like a little bit, right? Phil's not a complete like behind the computer 24/7, right? but I have finally convinced Mr. Dave over there to reveal the new ProVape P3.
Can I taste your juice?